Another one that I've learned since the TPI assessment we did was that I was using my back and my abs and my core muscles the wrong way. And I'm still kind of working through exactly what I should be doing, I guess. But we did a C spine and S spine. I think it was the very first thing that we do is the TPI assessment where, S spine is sticking your butt out and arching your back and you get your shoulders back like this.
Yeah.
And then C spine is the opposite. I think in yoga world, this is like cat dog or cat cow,
Correct.
something like
Yeah.
that. So I'm like, what difference does it make if I can do this or not? I don't do that in the golf swing. Except I started looking at it a little bit, and I do. I kind of stay and live in S spot
Yeah.
the whole time, trying to get this good posture that you don't want your shoulders slouched over, so I kind of overdo it. But then I just stay in that the whole golf swing, and that's been a little rabbit hole that I've gone down in my swing lately. Is looking at how am I using these muscles and what does that look like on video and what does that do to ball flight and stuff. But using them correctly, you're going to be pretty neutral at address. You're going to kind of go into a little bit of that spine at the top of your backswing. But for the majority of your golf swing, you're living in some form of C spine where you're engaging the core and keeping the chest and the core kind of pointing down towards the ball. I'm trying to be careful not to get so wrapped up in arching my back and flexing. The other day, I was literally trying to feel like I did back extensions and crunches. And yes, I was hitting golf balls, and that didn't work out very well. But if it's all these little things that you can do in the gym to kind of figure out, okay, what does it feel like to go into C spine? And when should you be going into C spine as opposed to S spine? Walk us through some of those. What are some things that we can do in the gym that kind of mimic the golf swing and the sequence of the golf swing as it pertains to best for your strike zone, right? From your hips to about your lower chest.
Well, just you think about it, most guys are already kind of in this C posture, right? Where our neck is protruding forward, our back is rounded out. And so right there, if we're in too much of a C, that's going to limit your ability to rotate. And you think about it, if you're sitting all day, on the computer, you're sitting in this position, and then you get into your golf stance and you're still in that position. And think about it, the further you go, the ninth hole, 12th hole, 18, the more tired you get, your posture doesn't get better. Your posture gets worse. So if you're already starting here, by 16, 17, 18, you're just completely trashed and you can't rotate that way. So
I can demonstrate what you're talking about there because when you say it limits your ability to rotate, if I'm in a neutral posture right here, I can turn. This is more or less top of the backswing,
tension free.
right? But if I just slouch like this and try to go as far as I can, this is about all I've got. I mean, I'm already starting to grunt a little bit.
Yeah.
You put a club in my hands, that would be my full backswing. Okay. Now, if I want to go into neutral posture, okay, I'm about 3/4 of the way there. And if I'm more S posture, okay, well now I'm pretty much full swing. But the thing I've been struggling with is from S posture, it kind of locks myself out on the other side.
Yeah.
Because you do need a little bit of C spine coming down through here to get, if I'm in C spine here, my hips are pointing, roughly out there. When I go to S spine, now my hip or my pelvis is pointing straight out here.
That's right. Early extension.
So how you're using these muscles throughout your golf swing, I've been sitting here like I was blown away after the assessment we did that I didn't have massive mobility issues in my hips because I feel like I can't turn my hips at all. I don't have a problem turning my hips. I have a hard time getting my body in the right position to turn my hips.
There you go.
So the back and core work I've been working on a lot with that.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to have you start on the ground, and you can do it on the ground or on a chair. But let's start with working on S and C, okay? Because a lot of people they don't even know how to do that, what it feels like. So we'll get you on the ground, and let's just work on knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders, and we're gonna tuck your tailbone. You're gonna take that tailbone, you're gonna tuck it underneath you, and then you're gonna arch your back. But a lot of people they start swaying and they do a lot of head movement. I don't want your head to move at all. Okay. We just, okay.
So if I were to put a glass of water on your back, that glass of water is going kind of straight up, straight down. You're not getting in front of the
right. I'm not
right.
I'm not, the hips stay over the knees. I'm not going this way. But a lot of people are so disconnected from their body. They're trying to get movement, but they don't know how to get movement.
So what I'm
gonna do is I'm gonna put my hand, this is where I want the movement to come from. I don't want it coming from your upper thoracic because you can flex your chest up here, your upper thoracic spine, but I want you to flex your lower thoracic. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to do it the wrong way there one time because that is an easy way to in the golf swing. It's easy to feel like yes, it is moving your back, and that's what I've kind of been working on a little bit here is that back flexion or back extension isn't this because from this position you can tell how stupid that is, right? Because there's only your hands are kind of supporting you, and it's kind of hard to move very much that way.
Yeah,
You
but
have to do
that's right. Your elbows shouldn't be flexing. Your hips shouldn't be sinking back or forward. Everything should stay, we call stacked. Everything is stacked over itself. And you can have one of your kids just put their hand right here. Now you feel that? Because you're trying to push my hand up. Okay. So that's an easy one. And so the next thing I would have to do, you stay down there. And let's start with only a 10-second plank. Okay. And so what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you drop down to your elbows, call it elbows and toes. Okay. And I'm just gonna count to 10. I want to put some pressure here. I want you to push up into me. Okay. Push up into me. A little more. You feel your abs kick in a little bit? Okay, relax. And I think a lot of people they think, man, I got to hold a plank for a minute. I mean, how long does it take you to get from a dress up to the back top of the backswing and hit the ball?
I'm almost exactly 1 second round trip.
1 second. Okay, so we'll do 20 seconds this time. All right, ready and up. There you go. And so he's kind of tucking his tailbone a little bit. So instead of him arching his back and putting all the tension in his low back, I want him to tuck his tailbone, go into that a little bit of C posture. You feel the difference? Now go into S. Now it goes all into your back, right? That's no bueno. We don't want that. We want the tension up here. Yeah. All right. And relax. We'll do one more. And we're going to do the plank again. This time I'm going to have you do it on your hands. Okay. And I want you to spread your hands out. Some people have some wrist issues. So I want you to spread your hands outside your shoulders. So go wide, Superman style. And I want you to flare your fingers out away from you. So the tension is on the heel of his hands. All right. Again, I want you to push up into me. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. By the way, that's S. I want you to go into C a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right. Push up into me though while you're doing C. Where do you feel that?
My abs.
You said abs. And rest. Okay. And so you can just work up to that, figure out what your tolerance is. If you start feeling it in your low back, just shut it down because that's not what we're working. We're trying to work your abs. And if you're like, oh, I feel that all in my low back, shut it down. Try to figure out how to get your spine in the right position where this engages a little bit.
Well, it's funny too sometimes that when you're when I'm in that position, I don't really have the luxury of being able to speak very much. But when you're saying go to S or go to C, I have to kind of think through what that means. But when you say feel it in your back, I immediately know what to do. When you say feel it in your abs, I immediately know what to do. There's other times that I learned that from saying, okay, C posture, what does that, okay, then you get there and then you say, well, what does this feel like? But it's searching for the connection between the movement and feeling. You put those two movements together and that's proprioception. It's being able to figure out, okay, what does it feel like to put myself in the correct position? It's amazing to me just when I just focus on keeping my core engaged, that does a lot for consistency in the golf swing. And it even adds a little bit, I've noticed, to power. It seems like it because it just keeps you so much more stable and you're able to stay balanced. And so I used to feel a lot better at planks than that, though. That's that's harder than I remember, Mike.